President Trump yesterday at his news conference said that the coronavirus could be with us for many more months than we thought, maybe through the summer, and says it could cause a recession. He's not saying it will, he said it could. That's not the news investors or anybody wanted to hear. The Dow dropped one of its biggest falls yesterday, almost 3,000 points. That was the biggest, we're not sure if it was the biggest, but it's one of the biggest of all time. The NASDAQ did have the biggest drop of all time. This morning we're talking with a certified financial advisor, Jason Bezou, on what the coronavirus means to your finances. And this, it's not just Wall Street we're looking at people's personal finances, because if this goes on for, instead of weeks, for months, people will be out of work, people will be spending less, the market will continue to fall, and people will go through their life savings.
Absolutely.
And what do you suggest for most people to do right now?
Well, when you're talking about somebody who's got investments that they've got a portfolio and they've got a financial planner, they've planned for this. We've expected these kind of things to happen. We know this kind of stuff drops, and we
never planned for a drop like this, though.
Well, not necessarily a drop like this fast and out of left field and what caused it, but we've been through these things before, and we've got plans in place. The real fear about it are the people who don't really have plans in place, that are living paycheck to paycheck, like you said. And
because about half this country, half the population does live paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, no question. And the thing is, like, the good news about this particular situation is that there is the government assistance. Everybody comes together. There's people involved. They're handing out food, this kind of crisis. But this is an eye-opener for the times in your life when you're not part of a big crisis. And something happens to you that comes out of left field and hits your life and debilitates you, and having a plan in place that gets you through these times when nobody else seems to care and nobody else can relate. At least this time, we'll get through this because everybody's coming together. Even the president and Congress are getting along a little bit now.
Well, and in 2008, when the federal government bailed out some of the big financial institutions, the suggestion has been by many that if they can do that for big banks, they can do that for the American public.
Yeah, no question, and I think they're doing it.
Is that a reality, do you think?
I think it is a reality, and the good news is that the economy has been in such a good shape for a while. I mean, the thing that hit us really is that for so long this has kept going. When we say we expect this, we've expected this to happen a lot sooner. And so things were good. Now, I think they're in a position where they can. Now, who knows, if this gets much worse, yeah, it might be, who knows where they can help.
But the one thing nobody expected is that I remember a week or two ago when the jobs report came out, it was 100,000 more than expected. The market still plummeted. And yesterday, after the Fed had lowered the interest rate by a full percentage point, down to near zero, we were down almost 3,000 points on the Dow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And for so long, any bad news just seemed to be brushed off by the investors, and it just kept going up. And all of a sudden now, nothing good they can do seems to keep it.
What do you suggest? And most financial advisors do tell people you should have in reserve months ahead, and this points out why.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, so many people got used to just going up and up and up. They were like, why am I only making 8 or 9%? And even though they were only expecting 5 or 6, and they started getting a little bit greedy, started getting overly confident. And this is an eye opener. And this is why it makes sense. These moments, if we can learn from them and remember them, 5 years from now, we don't want to forget this. We have to remember.
And before we go, any glimmer of hope at all?
I think so. I mean, you know, we all have our different ideas, but we'll get through this. We've been through Katrina. We've gotten through, and at some point, we come together. We've got this. I mean, everybody's coming together. Everybody's in this. Well, not together. We're having to get apart, I guess. But we're finding ways, and together we will get through this. I think there is hope, and I'm hopeful, and I'm confident that eventually. It's just a matter of how long, and can you sustain it and do the businesses that have.
Well, we hope you're correct. Coming up on our 8:30 half hour over on WWL, Jason will be answering some of the questions you may have about the coronavirus and your finances. If you have a question and need an answer, you can text it to 504-529-4444. Dave?
All right, 6:49. Our